Welcome back to our Hollywood season 2.
Woo!
Yeah, and Donald Trump just got impeached for the second time, like literally like 5
Yay!
minutes ago. We're feeling really good here.
That was so energetic.
I know. I just got excited. Like it kind of set in. I don't know, because I literally was telling Dana, I was like, I don't know if it hits the same. Like it's because of everything that's been going on.
I hope it works this time.
But yeah, I don't know. I think also just like season 2 of anything is so fun. Like, it's
agree.
Just exciting.
It's like the height.
Yeah, like
it goes downhill after.
Okay.
Well, for some things, maybe.
Well, no, I don't think for podcasts. I feel like it goes up because you get better at like talking.
That's true.
You know,
and you figure things out.
No, literally, I was listening to our first episode, our first guest episode to like our last one. I was like, I can see the difference.
You listened to all of them?
Yeah, I listened to all of them.
No, like you re-listened to all of them?
No, I didn't re-listen to all of them. I just wanted to see like if we grew at all. You know what I mean?
Feel like we did.
Yeah, and also, we did like a SWOT analysis. It would be in like Zoom as a learning curve. You know how it is.
Yes.
But yeah, so today we're talking about the greatest young adult novel adaptations with Garrett, James Wyatt.
Hello, how are you?
Hello, I'm doing well. How are you guys?
I've been having a lot of nightmares. Sorry, when he said that, I remembered. I've been having a lot of nightmares recently.
I've been having a lot of vivid dreams.
Why?
Lately.
I think it's the stress of life.
I don't know. I feel like I've been unemployed for so long now, like nothing really like phases me.
Yeah. So Garrett, do you want to tell us a little bit about what you want to do in the future and then kind of how you got into this industry?
Yeah, for sure. So, okay, it's funny. I was just recently re-listening to like a few parts of your guys' episodes in preparation for this. And Daniel, like I feel like you and I have very similar stories. Because like I've always been interested in the entertainment industry. I was always like the friend that just knew everything about all the actors and whatnot. But growing up, like I just always knew I wanted to be a writer, and I always thought I was gonna write books. Because that's just like you only ever hear about writers for books, especially if you're from like where I'm from, a really rural area that's just like dirt and tumbleweeds, and people don't know anything about the entertainment industry. So I just like always thought I was gonna write books, and then I was really involved in theater in high school, and through that I decided to try writing like scripts, and I realized then that I was much better at writing scripts than I was writing fiction because I could actually finish scripts versus writing fiction. Like I couldn't do it. And then when I got to college and like going to Cal Lutheran, being closer to the LA area, I realized that film was more the direction that I wanted to go with my writing. So that's like how that started. And then I also have a theater minor, and through that I had to take a directing class my sophomore year. And my professor for that class, Susan Angelo, the queen, after that class, she was like, well, what do you want to do with your life? I was like, oh, well, I want to write. She's like, well, you have to be a director too. She's like, you're not allowed to not direct. Because she told me like that being a director was what I was meant to do, and that like my directing was like above people in the class, like oops. But so she told me like I had to do that, and Susan Angela is just like one of those masterful people who like if she tells you to do something, you have to do it. So since then I've been interested in pursuing directing as well. And yeah, I've got my start in the industry with Kim, like because we had the same exact internship last year, January. So that was like my first like real foot into the industry. And since then, so I entered with Color Force for a couple months. And then from September to December of 2020, I entered with Juvie Productions, which is Viola Davis's production company. And then actually just yesterday, I started a new internship also in development with a company called Content Superba, which is like a new up and coming company. The founder of it was the former like chief executive officer of original content at AMC and then later at Hulu. So Yeah, that's
fun.
kind of how I got
Congrats.
started. Thank you.
I thought you guys met at school, so you met at the internship?
No, we didn't meet at school. It's just like his start at the end of the industry. Like his first internship was at the same internship I did.
Okay, fine.
Which shout out Color Force, which actually ties into our episode, but I'll save that really after that. Okay. But basically, Garrett and I met because we're both peer advisors, so that's orientation leaders. I know what you're thinking, orientation leader. Yeah, I'm very because like I feel like there's always like a negative connotation. You know what I mean? Yes. Do you remember all those TikToks about like orientation leaders at like 7 a.m.? I absolutely was not that orientation leader. I was the one that was trying to like lead before they got to that point.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I'm already graduated.
But those TikToks are very true.
No, they're true about like a lot of people. No shade, no tea. I love all of them. Really do. But I absolutely tried to not exert so much energy at 7 a.m. You know, I'm not a morning person.
No.
Absolutely not. No. I literally try not to wake up early forever. Unless it's something interesting. Like going on a set or something.
It's like you don't have like full energy. Like
no, absolutely
unless you have coffee. If I have coffee, I have so much energy.
Not even for me.
Just kidding.
I just need like 20 minutes of silence to like gather my thoughts, maybe even 30 minutes of silence to gather my thoughts, and then I'll be okay.
Like when you're getting ready?
No, post getting ready.
So like just sitting?
Just sitting by myself with my thoughts.
Okay.
I just need to like refresh, you know what I mean? So we met during that, and then we got along because obviously we have same interests. And I think Garrett is the coolest. And then
Kim's the coolest.
And then we were on student government together, and he's my successor for Senate director. But yeah, our internship was at Color Force, and Color Force is actually a production company that specializes in novel to TV movies.
I spilled water all over myself.
TV to movie adaptations. They actually did Hunger Games. So have fun. We're going to talk about that today.
Cool.
And yeah, basically I hate asking, but if you guys could leave us reviews on podcasts, that'd be really helpful. I guess it's helpful for podcasts to be successful. I don't really understand the logistics behind it, but I was reading on ways to help your podcast, and it said people leaving ratings is really helpful, and you know, and
they're fun for us to read because it's like where you can give us like
we only have 2 right now, but we love them.
Yeah,
I read them last night. So cute, so nice. And follow our social medias.
Yes.
We're starting a TikTok. By the time you guys listen to this, we've already started our TikTok, so go do that. We're gonna be doing like weekly videos about our podcast, and also just like I'm gonna do like a weekly roundup of like film things that have happened, and you know, it's gonna be really fun. A good time.
Yeah. At Our Hollywood.
That's super cool.
The TikTok.
Yeah.
And then at Our Hollywood, but with a period in between the 2 words, is our Instagram.
Yeah.
I think that's everything that we have to plug for
and
right
YouTube,
now.
If you like to watch podcasts instead of listening.
I have to still upload the rest of season 1, but they'll go up at some point.
Yeah.
Okay. So.
Did you notice my earrings?
I did. I was
They're
going to say something, but I
cameras.
forgot. Are they both?
Okay.
Yeah, they're both little.
You should wear the ones that say Hollywood.
I was gonna wear them.
That's for spatial location.
Yeah. I was gonna wear them last season, but I forgot.
For the Hollywood episode.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyways.
So we're gonna start with this is kind of just my claim. I don't know if this is true, but I feel like it could be. I have evidence. So I believe
like of the craze of YA novels. Like there's definitely been book, like The Outsiders has been done,
right,
that kind of stuff. But this is like what we know young adult novels to be today. Go.
Yes. Okay. Thank you for that intro. So in 2001, the first Harry Potter movie came out, Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. And I think that's what kind of showed like studios that like marketing movies about books towards kids is gonna give you a lot of money. And it's basically already made for you. Like you already have the source material there, already has an established fan base. So I think this is kind of what started all of these other ones. And they kind of trickle down until they're just like cash grabs, I think, at some point.
Yeah, 100%.
So I think it started with Harry Potter. Because 2001, it's like way before any of these, but Harry Potter ended in like 2016.
11, I think.
11. Oh, I was
I was
off.
like 16. I was a senior.
It was one every 4 years, right?
I don't know. Don't ask
me. We were. Okay, you're right. Seniors in high school. Wow, that was such a long time. That was like a decade of Harry Potter content.
There's a lot of books.
There is a lot of books. I also think that like they were more like family friendly than these other, because these other ones
for sure
are more like just kids. But I feel like Harry Potter was like a family event.
I feel like I wasn't allowed to read them because I feel like a lot of people have this same thing.
Yeah,
where, like,
I had the same experience.
Yeah, if you're like grew up Christian, it's like witchcraft. Anyways, I wasn't allowed to, but I remember in elementary school, like I would like look at the covers and be like, that's really cool. But I think like honestly, not being into Harry Potter when I was younger deeply affected the way I like film and television now, because I don't like any like really dystopian like sci-fi things, fantasy things. I don't really like it.
Harry Potter's more like fantasy, like
but still like fantasy. I know what you mean. Like I don't really get into that kind of stuff. That's why I like romance novels and like fucking coming of age stories and like people being sad and shit. Like that's why I like those. Or rather, I mean, like people are definitely into both, but I think because I didn't get into it when everybody was into it, I feel like that's why I don't really like that kind of stuff.
I think the Harry Potter movies are more like action and less emotion.
Yes, I don't like action.
Being honest,
well, I didn't, and now I kind of do.
They're like. Adventure. I think is the genre.
Yeah,
that's a good way. I was like, action's not sitting right with me.
Yeah, and they're easy books to read. I think because that's what I read them in elementary school.
They're so big.
They are big, but they're really easy to read.
Because it's big print, right?
Yeah. Oh no, I meant just like the language, like
and the language is super easy. Yeah,
it's like it's for kids, you know.
Yeah. Everybody at my school is renting those from the library, checking them out from the library.
Wait, like at your elementary school?
Yeah, I remember everybody would just be sitting in the corners reading Harry Potter, and I would have to read like anything else.
Fun that you obeyed though. I knew so many people who like they weren't supposed to be reading Harry Potter, so they would read it at school.
I was terrified to break rules.
Oh.
I was that person. If I broke a rule in class, I would have a full-on meltdown.
Okay.
So.
Like you got the yellow card?
Yes, literally in elementary school, I got the yellow card, and because I always talk. It hasn't changed. I've always am fucking talking.
Yeah.
And then I got the yellow card, and then I moved to the red card, and I had a fucking meltdown. And I literally, because the bad kids would have to like sit on an island by themselves, and I literally begged my teacher. I was like, I can't be around people. I'm just gonna talk. Like, can you please just move me into an island? So I volunteered to move it as an island, so I would never get a red card again.
For the rest of the year?
Not for the rest of the year. I got over it, but definitely for like a while.
No, like you were. How long were you sitting alone for?
A while. I don't remember. I was like 7.
That's so funny. I also had that problem. I just wouldn't shut up, and my teachers would. It's on all my little like report cards. It's like he talks so much.
Like good participator, great kid, talks way too fucking much.
And now we have a podcast.
Okay, no, bad bitches are the ones that got talked too much on their report cards.
Garrett, what is your experience with like Harry Potter? Were you also like not allowed to even look at them?
Yeah, so like I was the weird kid because I wasn't allowed to read Harry Potter or watch the movies or whatever, same exact reason as Kim. But I finally convinced my mom when I was like 14 to let me read them because of the fact that I wanted to be a writer, and like so many people were like, oh, it's a really great example of writing. So I used that as my way in to convince her to let me read them. And she's like, okay, whatever. But like you can't get weird with it. Like you can't get super into it. I was like, okay, yeah, totally. I got pretty into it like for a hot minute. So yeah, that was like my way into Harry Potter. And this is like a hot take that I'm just gonna say, and I feel the same way about with like Percy Jackson. You don't need to read the books before you watch the movie.
Oh no.
Oh yeah.
I agree. Personally wish I would have watched the Harry Potter movies before I read the books, because once I went, like everybody told me I had to read the books first, so I did that. And then once I went and watched the movies, I was like disappointed.
Yeah, I agree with that, because I feel like if you watch the movies first and then read the book, it's like you're getting an extended edition of the story.
Exactly.
But if you read the book first, then you're like, well, that was a letdown. That was like watching the trailer.
That's why I watch books now and watch movies and read the books later.
Yeah,
that's what I do with Crazy Rich Asians. Oh, whoa, different experience. Crazy Rich Asians?
Oh yeah, it is a book. Never mind.
Such a good book. So much more tea. Like you didn't think it could get wilder from there, but like, oh my God, there's so much more.
That's every book to movie. It's like there's so much more tea in the book.
Yes, exactly. To All the Boys I Loved Before. We'll get there.
Okay. Yeah.
Crazy Rich Asians also a Color Force baby. Like,
just flexing.
Really fun. I didn't even know there was a thing. That's fun. There's one more thing I was gonna say about Harry Potter, but I forgot. Oh well. Moving on.
Thank you, Harry Potter, for the rest of these movies. Is what we say.
Yeah, thank you, Harry Potter, and the author Daniel Radcliffe.
Not the author.
Not that term.
I don't know anyone else.
Just Harry Potter.
So the next, these are kind of like the subsections of like the YA novel that kind of got really big, and we want to talk each about. What? That was not a sentence. We want to talk a little bit about each one.
It's the first episode back.
I haven't spoken to anyone in weeks.
Oh my gosh, wait, I'm the premiere episode back.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Special.
So the little subsections are the dystopian novel, so The Hunger Games, Divergent, the fantasy romance, so like Twilight, The Vampire Diaries, the John Green-esque, aka The Kids Are Dying.
We said we weren't going to say
no,
that.
but I'll explain why I wrote that. And then
I really like that title.
I thought it was going to be a little offensive, but
they're dying.
It's true.
Yeah. And then teen dramas. We got lazy with the titles at the last one, but
I don't know what to say.
It's just a more broad one.
Yeah.
So we're starting with the dystopian novels. It all started with The Hunger Games that came out. The movie came out in 2012. I should have found the dates these books came out to, but oh well.
I know the first book came out in 2009.
Oh wow, that's so quick.
They hopped on that shit.
It was huge. I remember when everyone was talking about it, and so I was like, I need to read this book. But there was like a wait list at the library to read it. So I like begged my mom to let me get the Scholastic version that came with the pin. I wore that pin for a whole year. I still have it. Is that the
pin you have? Okay.
Yeah, it's still like a rusty.
He was telling me that he was gonna wear his Hunger Games pin.
But I didn't want to poke holes in the shirt. But if you're listening, just know that I have a Hunger Games pin, and I'm so like it is. That is my prized collection. Yeah.
Confession hour. I have a pin for each of the movies. It's at my parents' house still, but I have one for each of the movies because I was that obsessed. Like
oh my god, the Hunger Games are so good. I personally have no slander towards the Hunger Games. I do think the movie, maybe the first movie was like a little slow when I was watching them back.
Oh yeah, I was like the lead up to it. I was like,
with all of these, like with Hunger Games and Twilight, maybe not Harry Potter. I personally think the later ones are better than the first ones.
Of Hunger Games
and Twilight.
And Twilight?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll explain that
when
we get to Twilight.
I personally, I read not all the books. I read all of them except the last one, The Hunger Games, because I was so mad with how the second one ended. I don't remember what happened now because it was so long ago, but I literally...
the second one ends with District 12 being blown up.
Yes. I was so fucking pissed. I was like, I don't even fucking care anymore. I started reading it and then I still got pissed and I was like, fuck that.
Okay, but the scene in the movie is really good.
Yeah.
The scene in the movie is so good. Like Jennifer Lawrence, incredible.
Lawrence is so good. I remember watching it and I was like, oh my! Like I knew what was coming.
I don't think I don't think I watched the last movie either.
You don't know how it ends?
I mean, I know how it ends because I looked it up.
I love the ending of these because usually I feel like when they have all this hype around it, I feel like the authors don't really know what to do, and sometimes they No,
I just read the end. I literally skipped. I read the first part of the last book, and I was like, "Fuck this!" And I read the end, and I was like,
"I love this," and I think this is a perfect way to end this. I like what's her name? Suzanne.
You get
Collins.
to see the trauma.
Yeah, but I also like how she was like, "Guess what? Nobody in government wants to help the people."
And they wonder why Gen Z is so against the government. Like you wonder
it's
why.
Literally because of the Hunger Games. And
also
I feel like she just did a really great job of displaying the post-traumatic stress that what those characters went through.
Yeah.
The effect it had on them. 100%. And so a lot of people are so unhappy with the third book and the way things went. But I feel like it was honestly the most truthful way she could have told so much of that story. And just a quick little no, go ahead, Kim.
Okay, I was just gonna say I think now that I'm a full ass adult and I understand the real life reach to it, I appreciate the end. But as a
kid,
as a child, I was like, what the fuck?
I didn't get it as a kid.
Yeah, that's a lot of these things. Rewatching them, I was like, I absolutely did not understand what the fuck was going on. I had no clue. But now that I'm adult, like I was like, yes, this is a great ending to a series. So I might have to watch that last movie.
There's two, because this is like when the part 1 and part 2 thing was happening, which was, I don't know.
That's a cash grab for sure.
Yeah, but I kind of get it.
Yeah.
Because the books are like, well, maybe not Mockingjay, but like Mockingjay could have been one. But like Breaking Dawn and Deathly Hallows are
Breaking Dawn is gigantic.
And it makes sense how they split each of those into 2 movies, I think.
But Hunger Games, I don't think it needed.
No, definitely not.
It definitely didn't need it, but the way they did it, like, it worked.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
And I'm okay with it because it lasted a little longer.
Yeah. What were you going to say, Garrett?
Oh, well, I was going to say is one thing I learned while, like, interning at Color Force was, Harry Potter, like, started this spark and this interest to adapting young adult novels. But one thing that Greg shared with me one day was that the Hunger Games is what, like, sparked the revolution for it, because what he was telling me one day is that a producer that they had worked with before was just like at Barnes and Noble and saw the book there and saw like a huge display. So he picked it up and started reading it, and he was like, who owns the film rights to this? And he looked up and nobody had film rights to it. Nobody was like pursuing it. So then he took it to Nina and she read it and was like obsessed with it. And then Nina and somebody else got in a bid war over it. And they like sat on the phone with Suzanne Collins.
I remember this.
Yeah, and talking about it and like giving their vision for how to tell the story. And Suzanne Collins chose Nina Jacobson to be who would adapt the books to films. And he said after that, it changed the way the film industry looks into adapting books, because now publishers like send the books before they're published to the like production company. So a lot of books now, their rights are already purchased before they've hit the shelves, and they're like working on the adaptations like immediately, versus beforehand a lot of the books had already been published before
the amount of
they start
unpublished books
it.
We get to read is crazy to me. Like
weird.
It's so crazy because we can't talk about them. Now a lot of the books that I read, I looked them up, they're out, but at the time they went on. So interesting. Yeah. How fun fact about the film industry.
That is fun fact.
Yeah. I thought that was so interesting because I didn't know that before having Color Force either, that like that happened. So good to know.
Yeah, like because when I was reading all these unpublished books, I thought that was like interesting, and then Greg explained that to me. I was like, wow, that's fascinating. And then also I was like, man, if these books can get sent to production companies, I guess I can write a book still too.
Yeah,
for real.
Fun, interesting.
Yeah.
But yeah,
what did we think about the casting? Because I remember it was like a big deal when it was like.
Well, because in the books, Katniss is like darker skinned.
Yeah.
I love Jennifer Lawrence.
They whitewashed a lot of the characters.
Yeah,
Rue was whitewashed a bit too. She was darker skinned.
Yeah, she was. I think I wish they had gone with, like, I wish they had followed through with what the author had written. But I also love Jennifer Lawrence, so I'm kind of torn. I think Jennifer Lawrence did a great job, and
she did.
Maybe if they remake them in the future, they can try again, because I love Jennifer Lawrence. So. But yeah, I wish they had.
I love Josh Hutcherson as Peeta.
Yeah, I think it's so funny that they had him stand on blocks next to.
I know that. I was literally about to mention. I was like, the fact that he's like so much shorter than her.
Every time I see them on screen, I'm like, he's standing
on a box.
It's so funny.
So funny. And then like I don't know why this scene when I was reading the books, this is so random, but like it's so quirky and random. But like when he's like literally if he gets injured, you know what I mean? And then he has to like wear that like face paint of him in the rock, and he's just like like I don't know why I was like so looking forward to that when I was like watching the movie, because I remember reading that and I was like, what the fuck? I don't know why out of all the things that happen in the books, like that's what I was interested to see.
I know exactly what scene you're talking about. I just don't know why that stuck with me so much.
I don't know either. I just thought it was funny.
Well, I have something like that for Twilight. That like I was like, I'm I can't wait to see that on screen.
I just wanted to share it because I just thought it was so funny. Like, out of all the things, like, why the fuck is that what I was looking for to see?
What I do love? The casting of President Snow and President Coin. So good. And I forgot the name of. Oh my god, what's her name?
Oh my god, Hamish.
Julianne Moore.
Yes, Julianne Moore.
Also, Hamish, fucking Woody Harrelson.
Yeah,
and so
I feel it. Elizabeth Banks. I love
that's one thing I wanted to say real quick with Effie. Elizabeth Banks, she was perfect. And one thing I love that the adaptations did is they made that character bigger. Because in Mockingjay, like in the book, Effie's only in like one scene at the very end. Yeah. But they brought her back in for more of the movies, and I thought the way they did that was really smart.
Stealer. She's so good.
She is.
Remember when everybody was saying mahogany? That is mahogany. Remember that? Oh my god, I feel like that was like everybody's bio.
It was. It was like a thing.
I was obsessed with mahogany wood for so long.
Yes, mahogany teak wood at fucking mahogany teak wood at Bath and Body Works. Like we were having a field day with a type of wood because of this book.
No, I love it.
Crazy.
I'm gonna say something right now. My brain is like so all over the place right now thinking about the Hunger Games. I just love these.
Once we start talking about things, I always like unlocks memories.
Oh, I remember what I was gonna say. Okay, so I did in one of my marketing classes. I had to do like a case study on how the Hunger Games marketed the books, because it was kind of like, I think it was Catching Fire that kind of started it, but they started doing it like if it was like in world, if that makes sense. So they started like releasing like photo shoots that the Capitol did of the characters. I think it was for Catching Fire. And they released like the makeup line. They released like, do you remember this? Where they were like,
yes, I remember that.
You could go online and find out what like district you were.
Oh, I do remember that.
Do you remember what district you were?
No.
I was the fish one and I was so mad.
The fish one?
Yeah, I don't remember. I think it's like 12.
I'll have to look it up.
It's like 8.
I don't remember which one I was.
Oh, we should have taken that one. I don't know. I just remember that I was the fish one and I was like, no. And I took it again with different answers so that I could get a different one. But yeah, it's just how they did it. Like they had makeup lines. They did like clothing lines, like a Capitol
I don't remember that.
couture. Because I didn't remember it either until I started doing the case study. But then I looked into it and I was like, that's crazy how they did that. I love it so much. Are you okay? Anyway, I love the Hunger Games. I have nothing bad to say about it, and I love it.
Yeah, it's honestly like it's the best out of all of them.
Yeah, I agree.
All of this section, 100%. There's no competition.
No, there isn't, because let's talk about these other ones.
Yes, because leading to Divergent, which was the one that had the most like potential.
Yes.
To like live up to the Hunger Games, and they fucked it up. They fucked it up so bad. Like the first movie was like okay, but you know the first movie is always like world building, like trying to get you into it and like just setting the scene pretty much, and like a small adventure, you know what I mean? But then the next movies,
they didn't even
finish the last one.
No, they didn't finish the last one, because the second one and the third one, I think they made 3, I think, and they were so bad. They were so fucking bad. It pisses me the fuck off.
I just remember reading the first book and I was like, this world doesn't make any sense, because they were trying to do like a districts thing with the I don't even remember what they were called. What were those things called? What are those? Wait, go up a little bit.
I know one was like Dauntless.
Abnegation, amity, candor.
But the thing was, there was like
Dauntless.
2 cool ones, and the other ones just didn't make any sense. And so I was like, well, why? I don't know. The world building of Divergent just didn't.
I don't know what abnegation is. Is that the nurses and stuff?
That's the selfless one that she like started out in, I think.
Oh, like they're basically just poor and like nice.
I don't know.
That's what it was. They're like, yeah.
No, yeah, I'm pretty sure that was.
I didn't see any of these movies. But what's his name was in this too? I forgot his name.
The hot guy.
Okay, for all of these movies, it's the same like actors.
It's hot man. What's his name?
Gale, right? Is that one?
No.
That's in Hunger Games. Gale is in Hunger Games.
No, but like that actor, is it not that actor?
No, it's different actors. Theo James.
Theo
James is so sexy.
Is Ansel Elgort in Divergent?
Yes.
Yeah, he's their brother.
Oh, and I remember that was like no, but also Shailene Woodley's like the lead, right?
Yeah.
They were Shailene Woodley and Ansel Elgort were like the king and queen of YA adaptations in like 2012.
And this like one also had like a stellar cast, because I don't remember if they include her in the first one or if she's only in the second one, but Kate Winslet was in it, and then second one, Octavia Spencer, and they just like couldn't bring it to par. Like,
that's so sad. This could have gone so well, and it just didn't.
But also, like, the books were kind of disappointing too, in my opinion.
Doesn't she die at the end? That's not a spoiler.
Yeah.
Like, okay.
She does?
Is there?
Wow.
Do you remember?
Yeah. No,
like,
she.
Is there like reason?
So,
do you think it's justified?
No, her death is not justified at all.
Really?
It was a total cop out. It was
cowards.
So like the first one was so good because it was, just, in my opinion, like I really liked the first book. I thought it was a really interesting concept and whatnot. But then as they go on, like the lead character Triss, like she doesn't change at all. She stays exactly the same.
Tori
There's
Vega
no
vibes.
character development.
Mad Tori Vega vibes.
Mad Tori Vega vibes. And then by the third one, the author completely threw out her entire original concept and was like, oh, this was a social experiment. There's no such thing as being divergent and whatnot. And then Triss gets killed.
By who?
I don't even remember. It was some all I know is it was some random guy in a wheelchair. Like, that's all I remember about her.
The only reason I know is because I would always just like look at how it actually ended. I'd never really actually read the books. There's only a couple of these books I actually read. But I remember that and I was like, what? Like, huh?
I don't. Yeah. With all of these, I'm glad that the character survived, but
they tried to do, what is that other like classic book that's like, oh, it ends up just being like a social experiment? I don't know. I feel like that happens a lot in like
The Giver? No, The Giver's not a social experiment.
Maze Runner? I don't know. Give me Kevin.
I don't remember how any of these end.
They're all the same at the end of the day.
Well, okay.
Because they all tried to copy Hunger Games, pretty much.
I'm so glad Katniss lived. I really thought they were going to kill her off. But I feel like the only one I would be okay with them killing off, I feel like Harry Potter could have maybe.
That makes sense for him to die, though.
It would have been okay.
Harry Potter made sense.
He serves his time, move on.
And I think
which technically he did die.
Technically, yeah.
It should have ended there. That weird flash forward, I was like, okay. And he names like, let's not get into it because
let's not talk about that name.
Yeah, no. And then we have The Maze Runner. Came out in 2014, same year as Divergent. They didn't finish these either, huh?
No, because they all were trying.
They did.
Really?
They did?
I don't know. No idea.
Because I know there were 3 books. I mean, there are 3 movies.
Oh, just kidding. I thought they were going to do 1 and 2, but I just assumed that everyone.
They probably were going to, but then they flopped so bad. So they just put it on.
The first Maze Runner movie was good, I think. I don't remember. Was it not?
Didn't do it for me.
I went to a panel.
I think it's just because Dylan O'Brien is so hot and like he was like really in like he was popular because of Teen Wolf at the time and like
he was also YA king.
Yes, YA king.
Yeah.
We love Dylan O'Brien on this.
Yeah.
I was actually just talking to my roommates about The Maze Runner because I never finished reading the books or watching the movies because I was just so bored. It just didn't capture my interest.
I think that's the thing with all of these. They start off with one that like changes the culture, and then all the other ones are just trying to copy it. Compete. And so it just doesn't, because they're not trying to be original. They're just trying to like copy like parts of the story.
That's when it becomes like a cash grab.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Which is not that fun. Also, The Fifth Wave and Ender's Game. I didn't see. My brother loves Ender's Game. I don't know if that's really comparable to these other movies.
What is Ender's Game?
I have no clue what Ender's Game is.
Ender's Game is the one with Harrison Ford and that little kid from Sex Education.
Harrison Ford?
Yeah, Harrison Ford. It's like they're like I don't know. I can't tell you the plot of that movie.
Oh no. Yeah, the last 2 we have on list. No idea. No idea.
The Fifth Wave. Never saw it.
Never.
Sorry,
The Fifth Wave. I feel like it could have had potential because I don't know, aliens. I was like, I'm kind of down to see more alien, like dystopian type things.
I didn't know there was aliens in this.
Yeah, like the whole thing is about aliens taking over Earth or whatever. I read all of those books. It has like the same kind of issue as Divergent, where the end was just a cop out. Like the main character sacrifices herself. And whatnot.
See, that's the thing. Like, I feel like Hunger Games was like the best out of all these, not just because they were the first and like they did it well, and like developing and like the story and stuff. But they actually made like a good ending, like a real like this would probably actually happen if this shit had really happened.
Yes, I think the thing with killing off the main character is it's such a controversial ending that it only works if you've been either setting it up throughout the series or it's like there's no other way for it to end.
Oh yeah,
because like I have an example, but it's so recent, like maybe like 2 weeks ago, so I don't want to bring it up, but because I don't know if like the world has finished watching it. Well, because if I say it, you'll know.
Oh,
I'm so curious now.
You can edit.
Type it in the chat.
Do you guys care if I spoil something? I'll cut it out.
Yeah, just cut it out. I don't care.
I mean, I don't even know if I watch it.
It's a Netflix show.
Yeah. Okay, anyways.
Hey guys, we're back. I just spoiled the ending of a Netflix show that I'm not going to put in because it's too recent.
So basically my honorable mention is Nerve. It's like kind of dystopian, but it's also not. But it kind of is.
It fits into this category.
It fits in this category. I love this movie.
Yeah, I do too. I don't know.
I love this movie. It's so good, and it's just a one-off movie, like, you know, and like, who is in it? Emma Roberts. And
I
don't know if
the Franco one.
Dave Franco.
Remember which one?
Lord have mercy. And then Machine Gun Kelly's in it.
I don't remember Machine Gun Kelly.
He's the other guy, the white guy with like the big shoulder pad, and he's like a big part.
Oh, he's the villain?
They kind of try to paint him as They try to paint him as like the competition, but he's not actually the competition because that's the one that's like it's a big scheme.
Oh, that's what you were thinking of.
Yes, that's what I was thinking
at the end
of.
It was like a socialism.
I love Nerve.
I hate the ending though, where everyone's like running away with their phones.
Oh yeah. God. I was like, this is such. When did it come out? Like, it came out like at the prime time where everybody was like social mediaing it the fuck up. So it just made 100% sense. I think it's just a fun movie. Like,
it is. It's
not like groundbreaking, but like it's definitely one of the ones where like if I just need something to like put on in the background.
My New Year's resolution was to not hate on so many movies on the podcast, and that completely just went out the window already.
It's okay.
I was like, I don't want to be such a hater.
I think, like, literally in one of our podcasts, I was like, we're haters. Like, we are.
Yeah, we are.
But I think everybody's a hater to a certain degree. It's just like, we're just like lighthearted haters. We're not like actually.
I don't hate.
It's not like I'm actually going to go to fucking war about any of my opinions on here. No. I'm definitely easily changed.
Listen, every movie is somebody's favorite movie. They're just not mine.
Exactly.
So I'm not trying to attack anyone's likes. If you like Divergent, like I'm glad.
Yeah, maybe
I'm sorry you didn't get the last
power to you.
Yeah,
exactly.
I don't know. Anyway,
basically, none of these are better than Hunger Games. Dystopia.
Period.
Wrap it up in a little bow.
And that kind of died off. There's really no more dystopia. The Walking Dead is kind of pushing it, but
The Walking Dead's still on.
It is the last season, but they have like 4 spin-offs. They're doing a Rick Grimes like 3 movies in theaters. Like they're thriving. The Walking Dead is fine.
Wow.
They did a spin-off that's supposed to be like for teenagers, and my mom and I like we saw the pilot. We were like whatever, and then we had it all recorded because like it ended, and we were like, well, let's watch it, and I liked it. It's fun. The Walking Dead has
What's it called?
World Beyond.
I did not even know that existed.
It's okay.
That's
I don't think anyone does. It's only 2 seasons because it's supposed to tie into the Rick movies, which is why I'm watching it.
Interesting.
Yeah. I don't know. Fine.
Yeah, I was planning to get caught up on that.
Yeah, I won't spoil it. It's fun. It's fun. There's only 2 seasons, so it's like whatever.
The way we're already like almost an hour in, and then
no, because we were
talking. I always forget that we always have to like talk beforehand.
The fantasy romance. Well, I got too excited. I got so ahead of myself. I am a hater for romance, not like just romance movies because
Daniel's a big hater.
No, but listen. Let me explain first before you like hate on me. I just think like romance shouldn't be like the main plot but that's why I like this category because romance is it's like there, but it's not like fair. It's not like the main story about, I guess. So like for Twilight, I love the Twilight books. I love the Twilight movies. I'm not even gonna pretend I don't because I love them. I rewatched them all because they were leaving Amazon Prime like on New Year's Eve or whatever. I watched them all.
They had them on sale on Black Friday. It was like $10.
Oh no, I have them on DVD. I just needed a reason to watch them. And I was like, oh, they're leaving Amazon Prime.
So you put yourself under that pressure just to have them on DVD.
I need a deadline for things sometimes. Oh, my mom has all the collector's editions.
Those are going to be worth so much money.
One of them has like a flower from the wedding. One of them has a necklace that has like the.
That is definitely worth a lot of money right now. I can tell you right now.
My mom was.
Dude, I see people on TikTok buying Twilight merch for like $100, like a Twilight.
I almost bought a Twilight shirt for $40, and I was like, "You need it." Like, I know they're gonna re-release it at Hot Topic at some point, so I'm gonna hold off on it.
Hot Topic, you need to get the fuck on that. I would buy a Team Edward shirt immediately because I was diehard Team Jacob. I rewatched it. I was like, "What the fuck was I on?"
There is really no. They both suck, honestly. Like Team.
No, they both suck. Team Team Bella, because she's just trying to get
I'm
through
fucking Team Charlie.
Team Charlie!
No, retract. Team Charlie.
No,
Team
Edward groomed Bella. Yes. Edward grooms Bella, and not only that, but Edward is the original like gaslighter. Like when he's like, I hurt you. Like shut up, Edward. Oh my god. Sorry.
Yeah, they both suck.
I just got so mad at Edward right now. I need to gather myself.
I think it's funny. Okay, that's what I was gonna say. I was thinking because like it's like also Pirates of the Caribbean. Okay, watch what I do. So like I was Team Jacob, and then as I got older, I started becoming Team quote unquote Team Edward, just because it's not actually you care about the relationships. You just think which one is hotter to you.
Right. That's what it was.
Know what I mean? That's what it is. And for me, it was just Taylor Lautner at the time was hotter to me. But now as I'm older, I think what's his name? Edward Cullen is hotter to me. Whereas in Pirates of the Caribbean, I was definitely like Orlando Bloom stan. Because remember, maybe not you guys remember, but like for girls, I guess at Claire's they had like Pirates of the Caribbean merch and stuff, and they would have like little lockets with like, oh my god, I have an Edward Cullen locket.
So does my
mom. In my room. Oh my god, because somebody gave it to me. Oh my gosh.
Twilight merch is so cool. Like Twilight merch, like
it's honestly really cool. I have that in my notes. Hold on.
Okay.
And then as I got older, I was definitely more of like a Jack Sparrow stan. So I just think I like grimier looking men as I get older, and I don't know what that says about me. That's when I'm wrong with that.
I don't even know.
Kim.
It's true. I don't know what's wrong with me. What happened?
But also, I feel like that's a shared sentiment because my mom loves Daryl from The Walking Dead. I'm like, he doesn't I love Norman Reedus, but he doesn't look like he showers in the show. And she has a poster of him in her office at work.
I'm dead.
My mom is a YA stan. My mom loves. She dragged me to all the Twilight like midnight premieres. I was there, like I was in like middle school. She dragged me. Made me stay up. I was telling
Daniel, I was like, it was like preteens and then like moms.
Yeah, absolutely.
Were the demographic for Twilight.
Yeah.
Oh, 100%.
That's it. Remember Twi Moms?
No, what is that?
Like Twi Moms, like Twilight moms, like that would go to like all the fucking premieres and like stand there like how everybody does. And like
I miss the premieres so much. Like they don't really do that anymore because now they like release them at 7.
Midnight premieres is amazing. I can't believe those don't happen anymore.
I know.
I mean, as a person that used to work at a movie theater, thank fucking God that they don't have those anymore.
It makes sense.
But like, as a fan, I miss that.
Okay. Well, let's keep talking. Wait, Kim, notes of Twilight. Do you want to say what those?
Oh, my notes was like the aesthetic of Twilight is just like I feel like that's so reminiscent of those years. Like,
but it's only in the first late 2, right? Like the blue. Is that what you're talking about?
No. But like you know how like on the merch it's like that creepy like how would you categorize it? Like kind of like romantic steampunk, like I'm not steampunk, but like
with like the trees and like the dark shadow,
like grunge fairy like shit, like you know what I mean, like
punk.
Yeah,
I don't know, but I know
like if Evanescence was an aesthetic. That.
Wow.
Thank you.
Yes.
If Evanescence was an aesthetic,
is that not just like pop punk? Is that
I don't know what Evanescence is. Like I don't really know. Sorry to all the fans.
No,
I love Evanescence.
No, I think you might be onto something. Like
right?
Like a pop punk, because I know Stephanie Meyer used to post like all of this into Friday, Muse and Evanescence and Paramore and stuff like that.
Okay, so that was a solid thought that I had that we had. So I think that it was just like really that aesthetic is just really what's it called? Important to like 2008 to 2012.
I agree.
I definitely associate that aesthetic. It is with like indie, not indie girls, but like TikTok people.
Yeah.
TikTok fashion people.
The thing with all those movies is like they're not like the best written, but they're still a good time.
Oh yeah. That's what I said.
You know what you're in for. Like you're not here for like Oscar award winning writing. You're there for a good time.
Literally I said, is the dialogue amazing? Is the act amazing? No.
But it's okay.
It gets better in each movie, I think. Like the acting and like the chemistry and stuff.
Okay, so when I was rewatching them, watching them all in a row is a different experience because the last 2 movies are so good. And Eclipse is a waste of time. And let's just admit it. There's nothing happening in that movie. Or wait, New Moon. No, New Moon.
Oh my god, I was like, Eclipse is my favorite.
No,
New Moon is a waste of time.
New Moon, sorry. Nothing happens in that movie. And she's like suicidal because Edward left. I'm like, what is going on in this movie?
Yeah, she was just sad the entire movie.
And she was like jumping off cliffs to see him. I was like, and my mom was like, it's romantic. I was like, no, it is not.
No, anyway, that's scary.
Yeah, I know. That's what all the moms were saying. They were like, oh, it's so romantic because she just wants to see him again. I was like, shut up. Anyway, I love the last two movies because there's so much world building that came out of nowhere.
The budget went the fuck up for those movies, and it shows. It shows.
The best parts of Twilight was when you were out of Seattle, I think, because like in the second, is this New Moon? When she goes to Italy, one of the
oh my god, I forgot.
It's so pretty, like it's such a beautiful like scene.
Oh and also, I love so exciting. That it changed, like the lighting changed.
Yes, and like everyone with the red clothes, it's so good. And then in the last, I think Breaking Down Part 2 is like when they world build with all the other vampires from around the world. It's so cool. I'm like, where was this in the other movies? Like, I don't really care about. So
cool. I'm so sad that we couldn't like explore that more.
Yeah, she should.
So
she could. There's so much world building there that I'm like, please, like she has so much potential, and she gave us Twilight again, but from Edward's point of view. I'm like, come on, girlie, we know you got more.
But that's for the moms, you know.
Yeah. Oh, what I was gonna say was, you know how you said that like you latched onto the PETA Mark scene? For me, it was that I think it's Eclipse. That one girl that gets turned into a vampire and they kill her.
Oh.
That traumatized me for no reason.
No, yeah, that is traumatizing.
And then I read that like her spin-off book. I was so sad. Yeah. I was like, I can't believe
I read the spin-off book, but I didn't finish any of the regular Twilight books because it was like
but it's so
I got attached
sad.
to her.
I love her. I miss her so much, but I
want a movie about her.
Well, she's dead.
Like, I know, but the movie.
Isn't that so cruel? I think that's what makes it such a good like little mini subplot of the Twilight movies is that it's like she did not want to be a vampire and then they kill her and then how sad.
That was a good book though.
It was a good book.
What about you?
That's one thing that Stephanie Meyer did well was she had a lot of cool subplots. Like everyone's backstory. Like that's why I love Eclipse is because you get Rosalie's backstory. I fucking love that.
Oh yeah.
That's a good ass backstory.
So cool.
And they're all shot really cool.
Yeah. And then I know Alice's backstory is really interesting, which they didn't include in the movies, but I'm pretty sure, maybe I'm pulling this out of nowhere, but I'm pretty sure Alice's backstory is that she was stalked by James, like the vampire that stalked Bella too. Oh. And like she got put in like an insane asylum.
Really?
At some point, yeah.
Why didn't they show that?
Instead,
and also, especially because most people like Alice way more than Rosalie.
No, but also they put Jasper's backstory, and he was a Confederate soldier. That should have been cut. Yeah, we didn't need that.
Oh my god.
Yeah, like he was in the Civil War, but he was fighting for the Confederates.
Battle scars. That's one of my favorite lines.
Why do I not remember that at all?
Because everyone blocked it out because they were like, let's just pretend that didn't happen.
I also don't think at the time I understood what was going on.
I didn't either.
General War.
I didn't remember any of that.
Crazy. Because I think it was just not important to us at the time. I think we only cared about...
But also, it's such a small detail that if you don't like know what's going on, you're going to miss it. So I just... Yeah. I don't think anyone caught it until like I was rewatching it. I was like, Jasper's a Confederate soldier. Why did I miss that? The Cullens being white supremacists. Anyway, that was a bold claim. I'm kidding, everyone who was listening.
Our faces.
Yeah, sorry. No, I'm kidding. Anyway,
do you have any end notes for Twilight?
I mean, for me, it's just like I feel like everybody loves to try and shit on them now, but we all love that shit.
Oh yeah.
Back when it was on, and you know, like. Media sometimes is literally just meant to entertain. It doesn't have to be deep and intellectual and whatnot. And like for me, that's what Twilight is. It's just entertainment. And something that I will die on is like people always trying to say Kristen Stewart's a bad actress because of Twilight. I'm like Bella is just a poorly written character. Like
yes,
Kristen Stewart literally acted Bella exactly the way she's written. Like she's so talented.
And I think, like, if you look at any of
that
other...
That sucks. Yeah, she didn't get many roles after that.
But if you look at what she has done...
Yes, all of her new stuff is so good. And the one movie that just came out, I watched, and I was like, oh, I need to put that on
the romance movie? Also, she's so diverse. She can do anything. Like, she did Underwater, which was, like, a horror, like, underwater movie. Loved it. Not that great, but it was a good time. And then she did like that romance like movie like right after. I love Kristen Stewart.
And she's incredible in Still Alice. If you haven't seen Still Alice, you gotta watch it.
Okay, I'm gonna watch all of Kristen Stewart's.
Her and Julianne Moore.
Oh. Good. I love Julianne Moore. What is Beastly?
Okay, it's Vanessa Hudgens and I don't remember who the other guy is.
Vanessa Hudgens?
Yes, it's like a modern version of Beauty and the Beast. My mom was obsessed with it. I don't know what it is about this, but it makes me so angry. I think it's a character design of the Beast that I just hated because they were like, tattoos are ugly, and I'm like, I don't get what this is trying to say. And also the witch character is just really weird. It's literally Twilight mixed with Beauty and the Beast. That's literally all it is. I'm not even kidding.
Yeah.
See, like the character design for the Beast is not that great. I don't know. It was part of the Twilight craze. So that's why I wanted to include it.
I don't remember that.
Love is never ugly. That's such a stupid
anyways.
But yeah, that was an after effect.
Wait.
Are you Googling it?
Was Mary-Kate Olsen?
Yes, she was in it too, I think.
Yeah.
They had a weird
Was she the witch character?
Dakota Johnson.
Yes, Mary-Kate Olsen is the witch. I think there's pictures of her.
Oh my god.
As the villain.
That's weird. I think everybody
I didn't know Dakota Johnson was in it.
That's crazy.
That is crazy. And then Vampire Diaries.
Garrett, take it away.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
I didn't know these were books until he wrote it down.
Really? Okay. So the Vampire Diaries were books. They're awful books. Like I tried reading them and I couldn't get through them. But the show is so it's one of my guilty pleasures. Like supernatural, like vampire, witchy things just really get me going. And I also like the books for the Vampire Diaries were written in like the early 90s. So early 90s. So at first I know everybody thought like the Vampire Diaries was a ripoff of Twilight, but it's not. Like they were so much before Twilight.
Interesting.
And I like the world that they kind of really try and build there, like especially when they bring in the originals and those vampires and whatnot. Like I don't know, I thought it was like a really cool show.
Once again, my mom loves this. This is, I think, my mom's favorite genre, like fantasy romance. I think all moms love this. They eat this up, like supernatural and like all that kind of stuff. The only note I have about the Vampire Diaries is when this show came out in 2009, and I watched the pilot, and so with my mom, and so I was like 10, and I literally still remember it. I haven't been able to watch it since, but it opens, or I don't know what part of the episode this is, but there's a part where like this couple's in a car and this vampire like kills them. It traumatized me so much that like, okay, see these trees right here outside my yard? The pool is right there. One time we were at the pool and it got dark and my mom was like, oh, I'll meet you at the house. We're like 3 feet away from the pool. I literally couldn't because I was like, a vampire is going to jump out of that tree and kill me. I have so much trauma from that one scene in that show that I still remember it like 10 years later, maybe more. So I haven't been able to watch it since because I was just like, I know it's not going to be scary if I watch it again, but it was just like, that traumatized me so much. My mom was like, are you not going to watch the Vampire Diaries? And I was like, no. I'm also 10. That is not a show for 10-year-olds.
No.
No.
So I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't watch it. I think I don't know. Yeah, I wasn't really into
I'll try. I feel like I would enjoy it.
I think both of the guys are really hot, so like
Who's in this? I know Nina Dobrev is like the main character, right?
Ian, what's his
name? Somerhalder.
Ian Somerhalder and Paul Wesley.
Paul Wesley is hot.
Wesley.
But I guess his character isn't good from what I've seen.
Listen, it's one of those shows that it's like it was on the CW or where was it?
Yeah,
yeah, it was
so
a
there you
CW
go.
show.
You know?
Yeah, exactly. You know what you're getting out of CW show.
It's okay.
A lot of people love it though.
The Secret Circle, was that also CW?
No idea. I didn't even know this existed.
Yeah. It was okay. Nobody knows about this show. This was also me because it was just something I knew I could talk about. It's written by the same author as the Vampire Diaries.
Oh.
Also, the books were really weird. Didn't like them, but the show was so good. It was created by the same people who made the Vampire Diaries, and I'm actually currently rewatching it. That's why I was like, oh, I could talk about this. But it was like such a fun witch show, and it was so interesting. And Phoebe Tonkin was in it, and like Phoebe Tonkin supremacy, you know, H2O just add water. Like, I'll watch anything with her.
That's what she's from. I was like, she looks so familiar.
I also saw a pilot for this one, and I was just not into it because this came out in 2011. I was 12. This
2011.
This is maybe I would like it now, but back then I would not. And it only had like one season, right?
So fun. Yeah, it got canceled because towards the end of the show, the ratings started to drop a little bit. And they're like, okay, well, we're losing viewers, and this is a really expensive show to make, so we're just not going to do another season. And I was like, no. And it ended on the biggest cliffhanger ever. Like, never has a show I watched get canceled on such a big cliffhanger. I was so upset.
That's the worst.
Still am to this day.
The worst. How sad. I feel like they should give it another chance if they just give them. Oh my god, did you see the Wix?
I feel like dystopian novels could have another wave because people are so attached. Like, people are getting back into like Twilight and like rewatching everything especially because of quarantine. Yeah. So like I think they could revamp like The Secret Circle and like those kind of ones that kind of flop because it was just like oversaturation of like what Twilight.
There's too much of it.
There's too much. So I feel like now people could do it.
Okay, really quickly, just because I feel like it's kind of related. The Wix like Netflix show.
No.
Okay, never mind.
Fucking pissed.
They really gave it a CW makeover when it had no reason to be like that.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll move on before Kim starts yelling. And then the Percy Jackson series, which I don't really know why we put it here, but there was nowhere else to put it, I think.
Yeah, I mean, it's fantasy and there was romance.
I was convinced.
The romance wasn't like top tier. It was definitely more of the adventure aspect of it, right?
Maybe more like Harry Potter even.
Maybe I chose to forget the romance.
For, middle schoolers and elementary schoolers.
I don't remember who he was even involved. Oh, that one girl. But there wasn't like a team. But it wasn't Jacob. It was just like they were together since the first book. And or it's like will they, won't they kind of
stability.
Thing. Yeah, I love all these series, like all these little spin-offs, like the Egyptian one and like there was another one.
I love Percy Jackson movies. They're so good.
Yeah, I think this author, like he knows. Oh, he's like frozen.
The way that Garrett was frozen now was terrifying. It looked like you were getting possessed. That ass, like your eyes were like rolled back to the back of your head. I was like,
well, it's because you were like rolling your eyes mid and then it froze. And then
oh my god.
That was scary.
Yeah, it was.
Especially because we're talking about like fantasy stuff.
I thought he was holding his pose like that, and I was like, what's going on? Anyway, what were we saying? Percy Jackson.
Percy Jackson movies are so good. That's what I was saying. But this
author's so like open to like, I don't know how to explain it. Like, okay, so Disney Plus is doing like a reboot of it, right? But he's like, apparently there are like gay characters and there's like all these other things in it, and he was like, and everyone was worried because they're like, it's Disney, and Disney's like, you know how they moved like Love Victor to Hulu and that kind of stuff. So he was like on Twitter, he was like, guys, don't worry, like I picked Disney because I know that they'll do, like he's working, he's so involved in the show.
Okay, that's good.
I am comforted.
That's another thing I feel like you can tell like when the authors were like really heavily like considered versus not.
Yeah, you can tell.
You can tell.
Like the Hunger Games, like she was part of all of that. And then with the original Percy Jackson movies, he had no part in any of it. And like I saw the first movie before I read the book, so I still like really enjoy the movie. But it's nothing like the books at all.
It's not
like
really
not at all. Like the characters have the same names, and that's like about it.
They took so many creative liberties. I remember because I read the books first. I think the first two books first. And I remember watching the movies and being like, like I still like the movies, but they're just not that at all.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Sad, but like they're doing it.
Yeah. So he's.
But the movies are still good.
Yeah,
they are.
That's.
Like for standalone.
But like what you guys are saying, like if you read the book first and then watch the movies, you were going to be pissed off. But like if you watch the movies and the books, it's kind of like, okay, now I got two stories. I love like the scene that I always remember from that is the lotus flower scene.
Everyone does.
That scene
so
cool.
Shook my world.
That Yeah, I think it rocked everybody. I feel like everybody that watched that had the collective. I don't know. I think like we all had the fascination with like being adults and like growing up and like the fact that we were like in Vegas and like doing.
I think it was also because Bad Romance was like the top song at the moment.
Bad Romance?
Oh,
there's a dance number.
Where I don't remember that.
He takes off his like pants and it's like goat legs.
Oh yeah.
And he's like
that guy's hot. Like in real life.
Like.
In real life, he's hot.
Okay.
And he was old when he like looked so young, but he was kind of old. I think he was like 30 something. Anyways.
Love Percy Jackson. Love all the spinoffs. I hope the Disney Plus show goes well and they can make spinoffs of every series.
That'd be so fun. I need to read the books then.
Yeah.
I'm getting back
into
reading.
They're still good. No, me too. Because I was like, I'm literally stupid and illiterate, so I started reading again.
Literally, I'm getting really
But this kind of ties into what we're talking about, because like what for me, like how I started getting into reading again was adaptations, because I was like, well, I know I'm gonna like this. Mm-hmm. So I started reading like Stephen King novels. Right now I'm reading The Haunting of Hill House. Not at all like the show, but it's still like I'm having a good time.
Me reading Big Little Lies, whoa.
It's
great.
Yeah, love Big Little Lies. The next little subsection that we have is the John Green-esque, aka The Kids Are Dying, which I'll explain a little bit later. But what we had The Fault in Our Stars starting it. But I Perks of Being a Wallflower kind of started it.
So good.
Yeah.
It's the best.
Okay, so I saw it for the first time last night.
I don't know.
I saw it for the first time last night, and I wanted to be a hater so bad just because of like.
No, Daniel went in like already like first like because the first like 20 minutes, 30 minutes of the movie are pretty cringe.
Yes, and I'm not gonna pretend that I like those.
It is pretty cringe. Like absolutely, like when you meet I don't even remember their names. Sam and.
Ezra Miller and Emma Watson. I don't know their names. I just know Charlie. That's all I know.
Yeah, their characters. When you first introduce them, like they are really cringy. Like especially when you're looking at it now. But when we were watching it in like middle and high school, like you absolutely wanted to be those people.
I would have loved this if I saw it when it came out.
Yeah. So Daniel didn't see it at all.
No. Yeah. Hadn't read the book. Hadn't seen the movie. Didn't know anything about it. Didn't know the plot. And so Kim was like, at least watch this one. Because I was going to watch The Fault in Our Stars, but thank God I did not.
You don't need to.
Because I haven't seen... This is not my genre. This is not my genre at all.
This is 100% my genre.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, no, this is my genre.
So I was like, let me do it for a little bit. And so I watched Percy of Being a Wallflower. Was not expecting that second half of the movie to go that way at all. And I was like, oh my... Like, the first half, I was like texting, whatever. And then the second half, I like put my phone down.
I know, I literally texted Daniel. I was like, you need to actually pay attention to this movie.
Well, because the beginning, you don't really need to pay attention.
Okay, the beginning, no, but...
I was Okay, what did I say? I need to look at our conversation. I think the thing that shook me the most was like how the mental health was represented in it. And it was like not bad.
The picture of a man.
Yeah, it was just a great representation of mental illness. And also he didn't die. Because if this would have been any other author or any other... he would have died at the end.
Yeah.
Like it would have been like a message about suicide, which like we don't always need. And like I also think it's so important to have like mental health characters that have a happy ending.
Yeah, or it wasn't like a happy ending, but it's like progress.
He's happy at the end.
Yeah, he is happy at the end, but like he's making progress. Like he's still like
that's what I meant.
You know what I mean? Like he's still in route of like recovery and like dealing with his emotions, but he has like a support system, and I think that's something we
light
don't
at
really
the
see.
End of the tunnel.
Yeah, exactly. Ending. Yes, that's what I was trying to get to. I was like, what is that
good?
phrase?
And also, I just think, like if I also told him this, I was like, also because I hadn't seen the end of the movie yet. I didn't know where it was going. But I was like, if this character had been played by anyone else, I don't think it would have, it could have been gone, it could have gone badly, I think, because of the way the character is. But Logan Lerman is the best choice.
He is baby in this movie.
Oh, 100%.
Like, literally. Like, every time I watch that movie, you just want to give him a hug and you just want him to do well. God. Like, I feel like he's such a relatable character. Like, everybody has felt like Charlie at some point in their life.
Also, I didn't know Emma Watson was in this. I didn't know anyone was in this. And people were, like, popping up in the movie. And I was like, Emma Watson's in this?
It's a stacked cast, for sure.
It is.
What are your thoughts on this, Garrett?
Emma Watson, real quick. I feel like this movie is what proved that she could act. Because like before she had only really done Harry Potter, so we just knew her as Hermione Granger, and then she came in and did this movie, and this is my favorite like Emma Watson performance to this day. Like I think she's so good, and Logan Lerman is like the perfect Charlie. This movie like has always I wasn't allowed to watch this is another movie I wasn't allowed to watch, so I think that's another reason why I liked it so much, because I watched it in secret. Like I felt like so much like a rebel. Like I was one of the characters in it, watching it. Yeah, but it's always because I watched it so young and in a time where I personally felt like really alone. It has like had a like huge lasting impact on me, and I think this is what sparked a lot of the stories that I write and like my scripts today.
I love these type of stories for sure. I definitely see that.
Yeah, so like this whole genre is what kind of like the whole fantasy dystopian, those are like my guilty pleasure ones, but this is like my main genre where I totally read or watch like all these type of things because I always just found myself resonating with so many of those stories. So Percy being a wallflower really just like sparked it. And also the music in this movie,
oh my god,
it goes hard.
And I was like, because since Daniel didn't watch it like at the age we all did, I think that's why a lot of people our age have such an emotional attachment to it. Because imagine if you watched that when you were in the headspace of which you were in middle and high school, like that shit would have fucking hit different. And I think especially like rewatching it, I rewatched it last night for the first time since high school, because I think when I was in high school I tried to like put a barrier up because I was like, I feel alone, but like I don't want to deal with it.
I don't want to think about it.
I don't want to think about it. So I don't think I like resonated as much as I did watching it again last night. Like I tried to be like that fake deep person, and like I obviously still enjoyed it when I was like in high school and middle school, but I don't think at that time I was ready to deal with my emotions. But when I'm watching it now, when I'm like in a state where like I'm actually like getting a grip on my fucking mental health for once in my life, like it hits so different. I was crying throughout the movie. Like I was kept on tearing up. I was just like, because it's just like, it's true. Like as cheesy as like the first like 30 to 40 minutes is, like that shit happens.
Well, I think,
you know what I mean?
I think with a lot of the writing, there was like parts where I was like, oh, this is so good. And then
it's
like
trying to be like pretentious, like
the scene with the teacher where he's like, I was like, it didn't feel natural to me because I'm like, I get he had a special relationship with the teacher, but like, I don't know. It just felt completely out of nowhere to me. Like I wish he had that conversation with like his dad or something, or like his mom. I don't know. I guess it didn't work for the movie. Whatever. But
I think for me, I didn't have a good relationship with my parents. So like the teachers that I interacted with, or like the leaders that I interacted with, those were like my parents.
But like, would you talk like that to them?
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe that just wasn't my experience.
Yeah. So yeah, exactly. So it's just like different people. And like you said, like now I understand like why people like this movie. And like, if you say this is one of your favorite movies, like I get
this was like I feel like this was an aesthetic, and so like
it's a cultural reset for sure.
Yeah, this just wasn't the side of Tumblr I was on. Yeah. I was on like Doctor Who Tumblr. So
last thing about like Percy being a wallflower.
Yeah, let's not go there.
Where I was going was like, as cheesy as it is, like the quote that I always think of, I've always thought about this since like watching the movies, like we accept the love we think we deserve, which is like, I know like he literally just fucking rolled his eyes at me. See what I
No, it's because I rolled my eyes when it happened in the movie, and I was like I get it. Like, it's not a bad scene.
I know everybody does, because it's like fucking cheesy. It's cheesy as fuck, and like all those things. Like in that moment, I swear we're infinite. Cheesy. But when you think about it, and when you like take away like the meme of it, I guess, like it's fucking true though. Like you think about like all those like moments that like you have with your friends that like you feel like carefree, like nothing means, you do feel infinite, like you do. And then like this, like something that I've always struggled with, like is like my self-worth and like accepting people like complimenting me and like loving me. Like I've never felt comfortable with that until like kind of now. I'm still working on it, but like we do accept the love we think we deserve. Like that's fucking true as fuck.
Yeah.
And you know,
it's not like it's empty words, because I think a lot of these I don't know, I haven't seen these movies, so I can't even speak on them, but I think the reason I wasn't super into the genre was because the ones I have seen, I was like, these words they're kind of like they're empty words. They're like, they don't really feel like they have any emotion behind it, like, but they think they do.
Yeah.
But with this movie, I don't really think it's like that, because like the infinite part at the like in the first time we see it, I was like, okay, because he's like hi, but then when it comes back at the end, I'm like, oh my god, it's good. So good. I'm not gonna sit here and pretend 10, I don't think it's good. Like, it's good. It's great. Right?
It's the best one out of all these. But like, I like Me, Earl, and the Dying Girl. That's like my second one. We'll get there. But I think what you're saying with the empty words definitely falls into the John Green category, because I think but it's true. Like, I love John Green. John Green, if you ever somehow listen to this, because they're very in tune with the internet.
Oh my God, please don't. John Green, please.
John Green, I love you. You absolutely raised me. But I think to some degree, it like absolutely fucking reached into like the Tumblr phase, and like because we were feeling like those. I don't want to discount emotions at all, because the emotions I felt when middle school and high school, absolutely awful. Like, no, like, I hate that people feel like that at those points in their lives. Like, that's shit. But like, I feel like Fault in Our Stars and Paper Towns, like, those are kind of like fake deep, but Perks of Being a Wallflower is actually how you're feeling. And like, I think that's why when I was watching it, I didn't want to connect, because I was like, oh wait, that's too real. But I could get into Fault in Our Stars and Paper Towns, because I was like, oh, like, it's not as deep. Do you hear what I'm saying?
No, it's because the characters in Fault in Our Stars aren't as relatable unless you are in that situation. But we are not, so that's why
oh my God, people do not want to face their reality. That's why they like these like mystical things. So like they makes sense. We're making sense now. So Fault in Our Stars is what we're gonna start with, because that came out first. This book rocked me when I was like younger. It rocked everybody. And so I recently watched this, and I was just like, what? Why was I so into it? But it makes sense that middle and high schoolers were into it. Like, 100%. It's one of those movies. Like, it's good for those people, but like, whatever. But like, Ansel Elgort is ruined for me, obviously. And also, like, so that obviously doesn't hit the same. And also, like, the big kiss in the Anne Frank house. Like, in the book, it's written like really like cute, but when you actually think about it, it's really weird.
The whole because I read the book. I didn't see the movie, but I read the book.
Oh, okay.
I remember I was just like, I don't understand why America is obsessed with these two children. Because like, I think the whole thing was like, oh my God, it's so sad that he dies. And I'm like, but why is that?
It's fake. The fake D part. This is the fake D part. I was like, there's something in that
cigarette
movie. The cigarette. It's a metaphor. It's a metaphor.
Oh my God.
You give a thing that.
I was like, shut up.
Jughead Jones vibes for sure.
No, it's the same energy, and I don't want to hear it.
It's the same energy, but girls like it because it's like they're bad boys, but they're not actually bad, because they're actually nice and like relate to like because the main character that's like so plain, to be honest. Like, all of these main characters are really plain because they have to be relatable.
Does he have
and I think that's why they don't hit the same. Yeah, I think they both have cancer.
Mm-hmm.
See, the thing for me is like, the reason I call it like the kids are dying is because obviously people with like this is gonna sound so stupid, but obviously there are people with cancer, right? I don't think that all the stories that we should be telling about people with cancer end with them dying. Like, what kind of messages? Like, imagine if you are a cancer patient and the movies that you're seeing, it's like, oh my God, it's so cute, and then they died. Like, obviously we're all gonna die, but I don't think, why is that how their story should be focused on?
Well, and that's like a big issue that I've had recently is The Fault in Our Stars. Like, I really liked it when it came out. I don't feel as attached to it anymore. Like, it was really good in the moment, I feel like. But now that there's this whole trend that's still happening of, let's make a movie about teenagers who are sick and they're in love and one of them dies. Like, that story just keeps on getting retold. I'm like, there's so many other stories that could be told about people who are sick. Like, it doesn't have to be about also two teenagers in love. Yeah.
Like, people die, but like, why are there so many about like teenagers dying?
It's so weird.
Like, it's really weird. Like, it doesn't sit right with me. Now, like, in the moment, obviously when you're a child, you don't know anything. You think you know everything, but you really fucking don't.
Yeah.
You just take everything as it is, and like, you think that's like normal, but as you get older, you're like, that's weird. That is a little odd.
So weird.
But the book is really good. It really hit when I was in middle school and high school, for sure. And I think all John Green novels did for like those people. And then
it's the demographic for that. So I think that's why as we like,
it's okay to grow out of things that you loved as a child.
Yeah.
Paper Towns. I thought Margot was the coolest fucking bitch ever. Cara Delevingne
is so cool.
She was the it girl at art and like the thick eyebrows. Like, oh my god, she was everything at the time. Now that I'm like 22, I'm like, you know, it's a bit cringe.
I think
it's the fucking capitalizing random letters for me because they don't want to feel less important for me. It's that for me.
Okay,
Lord.
I think what made me so angry about this was that, like, number one, the main character is so annoying, and then also like he thought this whole thing was for him.
Did you see my note?
No, what'd you write?
I said it as I got older. I realized it's like 500 Days of Summer for preteens.
Yeah.
It literally is. Because I rewatched it because I love Austin Abrams because of Euphoria, and I was like, I need to rewatch. He's so good. The new thing that came out on Netflix with like the holiday, whatever the fuck, I didn't like that, but he's still hot, so like whatever. And I think he's a great actor, and I can't wait to see what he does in the future. I need to watch the one with Lily Reinhart though. I haven't watched that. Anyways,
I actually did like that one. I was kind of shocked that I liked it
because it's on Amazon.
Oh my god,
it's on Amazon. So I like hit my leg in the side of the table and just anyways. When I rewatched it, I was like, this is literally 500 Days of Summer. What the fuck? Because who is it? Nat Wolff is the main character, right? Right?
Yeah. Which hot take? I don't think Nat Wolff can act. Hot take.
No, literally, I was about to say that too because
oh my god.
No, when I was rewatching like Fallen in Stars and Paper Towns, I was like,
same exact character. Same character. He plays them exactly the same.
Mm-hmm. I think that's just
and he plays every character. He plays the same. Alex Wolff though. He's talented.
Love Alex Wolff. Also, no shade to Nat Wolff because I was obsessed with you when you were Naked Brothers band. Okay. We love you.
Nat Wolff, I still love you. You make such good music. But also, okay, one thing about Paper Towns, I never liked the movie. Like, I kind of liked the book, but I never liked the movie. And I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that John Green, he's like good at making those manic pixie dream girl characters, but they don't translate well to screen.
No.
Especially with like Margot. Like, I think they did a pretty good job with Alaska for like the Looking for Alaska miniseries.
He wrote that too?
He wrote Looking for Alaska,
of course he did. That makes sense.
That's a good book.
I didn't even know it was him. I've only seen the movie. I don't even know what it was. I think there was a movie, right?
Hulu, like miniseries. There was a miniseries on Hulu.
There was no movie?
No.
Oh, then I guess I watched the miniseries. That's so weird. I thought it was a movie.
It feels like a long movie, basically, because that's what a miniseries is.
Thank you, Kim, for explaining miniseries.
But like his manic pixie dream girl characters don't really translate well to screen, and I think specifically with Paper Towns, the reason why Margot for me like really failed was they simplified her character so much, and I think that movie was meant to be written and directed by a woman, not a man.
Period.
Yes. I didn't know if it was directed by a man, so it was. And that makes so much sense.
Yeah.
Because, like, I just feel like I don't feel bad for Nat Wolff's character at all.
You really don't.
No.
He's so unlikable. I think, yeah, that's a good point. Because, like, Margot Robbie, oh my God. My brain is literally all over the place. That character is like such an interesting character, but like, why would they not? You're like, if it would have been written, I don't know if written, but directed by a woman, I guess, like you're saying, it would have put the story from a different perspective, and it would have made more sense. Absolutely. The logic of what happens.
Because like, what the fuck am I supposed to feel bad for? She absolutely did not like. But that's a lot how guys think, though. Like the way it's true.
You really thought it was all about him.
It could have been a good learning lesson if it was directed by a woman. But like, I feel like because it wasn't.
That's true, because it could have been saying something about how like it.
Yeah. I know. I resonate with the.
Because like I don't even know how to explain what I'm thinking right now.
But I think for me, when I was, I think everybody craves like a crazy like oh my god, yeah, we're like being rebellious and we're like sneaking around town, like breaking into fucking SeaWorld, like in the middle of the night and like breaking into buildings. Everybody craves that. I think that's why people like that. And like the scene that resonated with me for this one is when they're standing at the top of the skyscraper and they're looking out, and I was just like, oh my god, like hee. Yeah. Like everybody wants that. So like it definitely played into the fantasies of the middle and high school girls.
These like books and movies are like just like a collection of pretty scenes, you know? And like sometimes like the pretty scene like distracts you from the fact that maybe what's happening
that the main characters are trash. Yeah.
But it's pretty, so you're like, oh well.
Yeah.
Me and Earl and the Dying Girl, I've never seen that. I don't even know what it is.
So good. Garrett, you go.
It's one of my favorite movies. Like it's it's top 10 for sure. It's incredible, and this is a hot take that I have, and I have the same hot take with Percy being a Wallflower, where I think the movie is better than the book.
Okay.
Period.
Me and Earl and the Dying Girl was. I don't think it was.
I had the same thing 100%. With me and Earl and the Girl. The movie is so much better than the book for me, as well. I don't really have that.
So much better.
So good.
Like
I think it's because it's so well acted.
Is good.
That's what like they're great actors, and also it wasn't like because you know how like Paper Towns and like Fault in Our Stars was like big media push, and like me, Earl, and the Dying Girl and Percy being Wallflower were kind of more like indie movies. Like they didn't have like big budgets and they weren't like super pushed. And I feel like that's a big player and like why they were so good.
Because they could focus on like writing and characters instead of.
Yeah, and one thing with like the book to movie aspect of Me and Earl and the Dying Girl is you actually gain so much more in the movie than you do with the book, because it's meant to be a visual story, because there's a huge aspect of the two of the lead characters being really interested in film and specifically like experimental film. So they were able to like add that aspect into it. And the people who made the experimental films for them like were inspired by Stan Brakhage.
I completely agree. Like I'm like replaying the movie in my head, and it literally makes me tear up every time I think about it. But yeah, that's the thing, like with that the film aspect was so heavy in the book, but you couldn't really like see it, like because it's always going to be your interpretation of it. But when you have it like in the film form, like oh my god, so good. And I feel like Greg is such a great male lead because he absolutely acts like how a boy absolutely would act in that situation. But and I think he's super relatable, and he's like introverted, and like he has a hard time expressing his emotions and dealing with like interactions with people. And I feel like a lot of times male characters don't get that treatment because men in society are always like have to be like super masculine and confident and like rah rah rah. And I think that's why Greg and also Charlie and Percy being Wallflower, I think, are great portrayals of like male characters.
You know what's interesting? Now that you're saying that, is Jesse? Okay, the author of this book is Jesse Andrews. Is that a woman or a man?
A man.
Oh, interesting. It's interesting that like all the other ones were written by like the Twilight, Harry Potter, and Hunger Games were written by women, and then these like romance ones were written by men.
Huh.
I have no opinions on it. It's just an observation that I just made right now because I was like, oh, maybe that one was written by a woman. No, it was written by a man.
I think more people need to see Me Earl and the Dying Girl. I think
100%.
Because I don't think many people watch it because it didn't really get a big release. Because I remember watching the trailer and I was like, I need to see that.
I saw the trailer once and that was the last I heard of it.
Yeah, because it didn't get wide release. I don't think at all. I think I had to like. No. I think I had to wait till it came out.
I had to order it off of Netflix.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I ordered on Netflix, like when you still got the DVDs.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, I definitely got it from like I had to wait because it wasn't playing anywhere near me. So yeah. I love Me Earl like that.
Yeah, and Olivia Cook is, I love her. I will watch anything if she's in it. She is so talented. And I love how like this story, it's not necessarily a love story at all. Like it's a friendship story between the two of them, and the ending with her, I can't. I'm gonna get emotional. I just can't. But
it's a good ass movie.
I'll watch it.
Molly Shannon in it. I love Molly Shannon.
Who's Molly Shannon?
All these actors are so fucking good, and yeah, Olivia Cook, I can't wait till because she just got into I haven't seen Sound of Metal yet because I need to like get out. Because my dad always is watching stuff on TV, and I have to watch it on the big TV because I've heard the sound design is like really important to that movie. And I heard that she's like Sound of Metal.
Oh yeah.
And I've heard that she's so good in it. I heard like she might get Oscar nominated.
Oh.
So like I'm a big.
She's so good at everything she does. Like
everything. Thoroughbreds. Oh my God.
I'm looking at her. I didn't like when you said the name. I didn't know who you were talking about, and then as soon as like I looked her up, I was like, "Oh, I know exactly who this is." She's good in everything.
She's an amazing actress, and I
don't
think
she was amazing in Bates Motel.
100%.
Yeah, she was. Oh my God, I forgot about that character. That was such a good. I stopped watching because I was scared that they were gonna kill her. So no one tell me what happened. I'm just gonna pretend she's still alive.
I think I had the same thing. So I stopped watching it.
I literally was so scared because I was like, I know how this ends. So I
you definitely should finish it. I can promise you. Never mind. I won't spoil it. Never mind.
I just know that Rihanna was in it.
Yeah.
That's all.
Yeah, Rihanna was in the final season. It was kind of cool.
I do like that they rewrote like the story a little bit of Psycho.
I'll have to finish it.
Yeah, I'll finish it at some point.
I think I was at the time where I was also watching Criminal Minds, and I was just getting really paranoid, so I had to stop watching.
That's not a good combination.
No, I don't know what the fuck I was thinking, but I'll have to watch it again.
Okay.
But I think if I had to recommend you guys to watch anything of what we're talking about, it's Me, Your Only Dying Girl. Like you absolutely have to watch it. It's so good. Teen dramas is our last one.
I feel like we could have come up with a better name, but I truly don't know. Like,
I just
that's what this is.
It's literally what it is. Like,
so first one. Well, the first one that came
blackmail,
out,
like something to do with blackmail, because they all sort of
involve that. Yes, blackmailed.
That's true. I think we'll start with Gossip Girl actually, because that came out first.
Oh my God, this is literally teens getting blackmailed.
It is.
My God.
It literally is. Wow, that was good, Garrett.
Yeah.
So Gossip Girl, I love this show, but in comparison to the books, what the fuck? It's like kind of like what was this one? Percy Jackson. It's kind of like they just kind of like took the bare bones of it and then made the TV show. Because so like weird. Especially when it comes to like the biggest thing I'm upset about, which I hope that they are going to like play into more, which I think they are. I read that they're gonna have like more LGBTQ.
And the like reboot?
Yeah, the reboot. Yeah, I hope that they have, because I've heard that they have LGBTQ characters, because in the books, like Chuck is like basically pansexual.
Really?
Yeah, basically.
They threw that out the window for the show.
Yeah, and I think Dan might be bi too. Like, yeah. So like, yeah, exactly. And wouldn't that make it so much more fucking interesting? And especially for Chuck Bass's character, it makes so much sense for him to be pan.
Is the new one related to the old one at all, or is it like they're redoing it?
No, it's like 8 years after, because Gossip Girl closed and then it's reopened. It's kind of like Pretty Little Liars, like it's like they're getting blackmailed again.
But it's like new people?
Yeah, it's new
people. Is anyone from the old one in it?
Just Kristen Bell is confirmed to be the voice again.
Oh, she's the Gossip Girl voice?
Yeah.
I've seen one episode of this. I didn't think it was bad. I just didn't get into it.
It was absolutely directed at me.
Honestly, kids getting blackmailed, like, I know that sounds awful, but it's such a good concept.
It really is, because kids do fucked up shit. Yeah. Kids do fucked up shit. And I think, I love this series. I think because I watched it in high school, I'm rewatching again. It's like, it's just so good to watch teens get blackmailed.
I wish that I could watch it without knowing who Gossip Girl was.
Because he's not in the books.
Who is it in the book?
No one. They don't reveal it. And I feel like it should be kept that way.
I like that.
It's so much better that way, right? And I feel like it makes people hate Dan for no fucking reason. I mean, to be fair, in the last 2 seasons, he was kind of a fucking dick.
Well,
but that's because they were building it up for him to be. So, like, because in the first, like, couple of seasons, I was like, Dan is the best one. Why does everyone like Chuck? Like, what the fuck is going on? Especially because Chuck, well, his character development is good, but like, I feel like it would have been so much better if they like, he had sexuality like experiences. You know what I mean? Like, because I feel like Gossip Girl had the absolute platform to fucking like be like Glee and be like the first person. You know what I mean? Like Glee could play it off more because it was a comedy, but Gossip Girl was like a full on drama. So I think it would have like hit even a little bit harder to have like LGBTQ plus representation. A long time.
Because Pretty Little Liars came out 3 years later and they had a lesbian character.
Yeah, but it still wasn't even that great of a lesbian character.
No.
They had
they put her through too much hardship being lesbian.
Oh my God.
Yes, exactly. Okay. That was like her only thing was being lesbian.
Let's talk about Pretty Little Liars.
Yeah.
I have so much to say. this. Okay, where do we start? Okay, so I never read the books. Did you read the books?
Yes.
Okay, say that before I go.
It's just like I stopped watching the show because they diverged so hard from the books. I was so fucking pissed off. I was so pissed off.
But like it makes sense because it's a mystery. Like if you know what happens, it's not really a mystery.
I guess, but like it just like I don't know. And also like the way the characters are written are a lot better in the books. In the books for me, at least from what I remember. I haven't read them in so long. I binge read those books, and I think like in the show, like their character dynamics, how they like were frenemies and whatever the fuck. I think it was weird. I think in the books, it like they were still friends, but they all had like separate lives. But it made more sense in the books to me why they became friends again.
So in the books, they were brought together because of the blackmail instead of they're just already friends and they're getting blackmailed.
Yeah, well, yeah. In the book, like they were all like kind of like separated. Like they still kind of talked to each other, but they all had like were starting to go their separate ways.
Okay, that's fine.
But then it like brought them back together.
That makes more sense because
that's what it is in the show too.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't remember. I saw it like let's start talking about the show a little bit. So it was 2010. You didn't finish the books?
No, I didn't finish. No, I didn't finish either because I got so pissed off.
I finished the show. I was a trooper. I sat through
you are
every single season of this while it was airing live.
While it was airing live? You deserve a medal.
I truly do.
Really
I started watching the season where they had the red coat thing was going on. I think that was like 4.
I think I stopped when that started happening.
That's when I started. And then so I watched them on Netflix and then I was watching them live. Every single time that like there was an A reveal, it got spoiled for me on like social media every single time. So that's why now when there's like a big season finale coming up, I literally don't like go on social media because of Pretty Little Liars. But I think the thing with this show is that they were trying so hard to be like to try and surprise the audience that they forgot to write good stories.
Yeah.
Because every single A reveal except the first one is bad.
Yeah, that's fast.
The first A reveal, which was Mona, if you go back and watch the first season, sense. There's literally clues. You can literally like
it's lazy writing for sure.
Yeah, was Mona A in the books? Like in at all? Was there only one A in the books?
I'm pretty sure she was.
Yeah, she was in the books.
Okay.
I don't know. I stopped. There's so many Pretty Liar books. There's so many.
There's 16 books.
I think I read like half of them, or like
I only read the first 2 books, and to me they were like basically the first 2 episodes of the show.
Oh.
So I
think once it gets to book like 5 to 6, like it kind of evaporates.
I just hated that it was the same things over and over again, and the A reveals were so bad, and like they used like I think they really thought that they were like LGBTQ like allies, like they really thought what they were doing. Except what was her name? Like Paige, like one of Emily's girlfriends, is like a horrible character and treats her terribly. And then like
the worst character.
Yeah, and then like one of the A's is like transgender, and that's the reason that she's A. And it was like they were using it as like it's because they were like, oh, Allie's dad was like so mean to her, and that's why she became A because she was jealous or some stupid like thing. And I was like, you're gonna have.
That's so fucked.
Like, good for trans representation, but you made them you made them the villain of the show, and like, and
also they didn't cast a trans actor to play that role.
They didn't.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
Because I don't think they thought that they were gonna make her trans until the end. But then the worst part, okay, so they reveal it in that season finale. They're like, this is the A for the past 5 seasons. This is like the biggest A. They kill her in the season premiere of the next season, and that's the mystery. Like, who killed A?
Oh, I remember that.
I was so mad.
And then a third A comes.
And the third A is like Spencer's British evil twin. Oh my god. Yeah. I almost threw my phone out. I was so mad.
The first 2 seasons were good, and then after that, it was like the first 3 seasons. I don't remember.
There's just so many problems with this writing. The Arya and Ezra relationship, disgusting. I don't care.
So
Not only was Ezra with an underage girl, he literally like later on was revealed that like
he was A, right? At one point?
No, he was writing a book about them. And so the whole time he was like manipulating. He was literally gaslighting her and pretending he didn't know anything when he knew everything and was writing it down for his book. And then they still end up together. Oh my god.
Yeah. Yeah, no. Okay, I can... not to be that person, but I can one up you, Daniel.
Okay.
Because I started Pretty Little Liars the night it premiered and watched it live every single week all the way to the finale.
That is.
Yeah, you both deserve a medal.
No, you won because like I don't know how I could have done that for 6 years.
Really want to know how they would end it because I had all my own theories on how it should have gone, and honestly they really should have hired me to be a writer on the show because it would have been so much better.
Too. I literally to whoever's listening, I don't even know, to Marlene King, the writer of this show, I just want you to know that I'm so mad that you didn't bring, so they killed one of Emily's girlfriends. They killed her off, and I swore on my grave, I was like, she's gonna be A. I know it deep in my heart.
Yeah.
No, not him sitting up.
Yeah.
I was like, I know Maya's going to be A because I need her to be A because she was such a good character that if they really did kill her off, I'm going to be really mad. And so the last episode, I was holding out hope. I was like, please, Maya, please pop out of, you haven't been here for 5 years, but I have hope in my heart. And then what's her name? British Spencer walks out and I was like, I'm going to die.
That's so annoying.
Okay,
that makes so much
I have
more
the same
sense.
feelings because in like interviews, always in the show is not dead unless you've seen their body. Yeah. And the character of Maya, she's the only character that died that we never saw her body. So I was convinced she was going to come back. Convinced. And I waited the entire series for like, not even like for her to be A, just like maybe A kidnapped her or something. Yeah. She was in that dollhouse too. I don't know, but like
that's the only reason I kept watching because of that character because I loved her so much and they had her for one season and killed her off.
Yeah,
I'm so mad about it.
I know she's Beyonce's stepsister, right?
No, I did not.
Yeah,
what? That was not. That's
Bianca Lawson and Beyonce are stepsisters.
Makes sense. Queens.
She, you know what? Good for her for getting out of that show before. I don't know. And also, I think I was like obsessed with Ashley Benson, so that's the only reason that I like kept watching. I was obsessed with her. I think she was my wallpaper on my Android.
Lord.
Yeah, I don't know. It's embarrassing. Whatever. That show is just. And then it's a
fever dream, truly.
And the reboot where I was like, it's also based off of books. And the concept, I was like, oh, this is going to go so well. Because it's like Allison. I do like Allison's story arc. I like that they redeemed her. And so in this new one, Allison is a teacher at a school. And then, I don't know, Mona's there for some reason. God knows why. I literally don't know why she was there. And it's like new kids. There's a new A, whatever. And it was just not good. I was so excited. I was like, I love this concept. And it was just not good. And I didn't care for the characters. I was like,
it could have had potential.
And it just didn't go anywhere.
I already know I'm gonna watch the HBO Max reboot.
Oh yeah, me too. Because it's a different writer.
Yeah, for HBO Max reboot.
But the thing, it's called Pretty Little Liars: Original Sin, and it's like based in a new location, and it has to do with like people, like something that happened like 20 years ago or something like that is affecting like these new teens or whatever. And
they have the thing announced. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, okay. The thing that makes me nervous about it though is that the showrunner and creator for Riverdale and Chilling Adventures of Sabrina is the showrunner for this. And I just it makes me real nervous because that's what he did with Riverdale. Like I actually kind of enjoyed the first season.
Yeah.
But the second season happened the year after Pretty Liars ended, and he tried so hard to make that show the new Pretty Liars, and it just that's where it really went downhill for me.
Oh, that's so upsetting. Yeah, I feel like everybody has that thing. Like Riverdale was so good season 1, and then the rest of it was just like. What?
I don't think they knew if they had set it up as that kind of like show with musical episodes and like ridiculous like monsters and witches. If they had set it
that just gave me a headache hearing that he was a showrunner.
Yeah. Yeah. And also they didn't tell. Also, can you
explain what showrunner's done? Because some people listen to our podcast and
that's true.
Don't know what they do.
Oh, okay. So the showrunner is like the head executive producer, and oftentimes they're also the creator for the series and like the head writer. So they're just kind of in charge of the majority of the creative decisions that happen. So there are like different types of showrunners. There are ones that are more producers, and there are ones that are more writers and whatnot.
Learning.
Period.
Yeah. Lastly, wrapping up on a high note. No, it's not. 13 Reasons Why. So I have a very deep emotional attachment to this book.
Okay.
I love this book so fucking much because it was in the middle of my emo, like high school, middle school phase. And like, I was like, oh my God, yeah, like I feel this so deep. Like everyone fucking sucks. And like, we should expose everybody. Like I was like on that fucking ride. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then I remember hearing that it was like when I had just finished reading the book or like a couple years after, I heard that Selena Gomez was going to be playing Hannah Baker. And then that got stuck in development hell, and it never got made. So when I heard that Selena Gomez was producing the new one, I was like, slapped my fucking face. I was like, what the fuck is going on? I was so excited. And then the show came out. And it was, the first season was okay. It didn't have the same charm as the book, but also charm is a weird way to phrase the feeling of that book reading it.
Yeah.
It really is, but like it was still an okay series, but it didn't hit the same as the book did.
I think it should have stopped there.
Yes. I don't like, I get avenging, quote unquote, Hannah's death by the second season, kind of, but I think it's a weird way to do it. Did we need to kill him?
Who?
They killed fucking.
I saw first season, second season, and then I was like, that's enough.
I only watched the first 2 seasons. I did not watch season 3 or 4.
The guy that was worse.
The rapist, Bryce?
Bryce.
I hated that they tried to redeem him.
They killed him.
But I think that was season 2. I don't know.
I didn't watch anything after season 1 because I was so pissed. Actually, I tried to. No, I did watch season 2. Oh my God! And then at the end of season 2, they tried to have that one kid be a school shooter, or was that season 1?
No, that was season 2.
Okay.
Yeah.
No. It was. So I didn't finally read the book until the show came out because somebody I was friends with like loved the book and everybody was talking about the show and I wanted to watch it and like she would not let me watch the show unless I read the book. So I did and I was like, okay, like yeah, this is good. Whatever. I watched the show. Honestly, I slightly liked the show a little bit more just because the book is only Clay and Hannah's perspectives. Mm-hmm. And I liked that the show was able to show everybody else's.
I do like that. Mm-hmm. It definitely gave it a new life. I will say that in that aspect. I personally think they took things too far a lot of the times with the show, with what they showed. Mm-hmm. Second season, they did not need to do the school shooter thing. That was, especially given the fact that the show was released a month after, like season 2 was released a month after Parkland. Like that did not agree with that at all. But one thing I kind of almost liked season 2 a little bit more than the first season because of it being more about redemption and like the deposition, and like I liked that aspect of the deposition, bringing all of them in for the interviews and the case and all of that. I did not watch past that. I have no interest in watching season 3 or season 4 at all. I think it should have stopped so much sooner than that. But the best part of the show to me is Kate Walsh, like Hannah Baker's mom. Oh, so good.
Like,
she is so incredibly talented and acts the shit out of that role. Like,
so it gives me chills. I have chills right now. I do like season 2. They shouldn't have taken past season 2 is what I'm meaning. Because like I did like the disposition because in the book it's like, well, that's it. Like once you get to the end, it's like, well, fuck. Like there's nothing else to do. But I like because there is repercussions for that for everything, and I think that was a good way for them to do season 2. But like the subplots like between like the disposition is just like really irritating to me. Like I just think you have the opportunity to be an actual real show, a real like thing, a learning lesson for people, and then you just do a Riverdale spin on it, kind of like Riverdale season.
No, I know what you're saying. Like they tried making it like a mystery. Like, they Pretty Little Liars it up.
Yes, exactly. And it didn't need to be. It could have been like a real like raw, like in a real raw like lesson, and like they wanted it so bad to be a fucking murder mystery, and it's like no, there was a reason this girl killed herself, like, and that's like you need to analyze the characters and like what motivated them to harm her like that, and that's what we got kind of out of the dispositions.
Yeah.
But I think they could have done more, because obviously in a disposition you're not going to be able to say everything, you know what I mean? And they're all dealing with it. They're all getting like talked about, and like I don't know. They had a really good opportunity.
Exactly. I think that's the most frustrating part is like they could have done so good with what was there, and I just don't think.
But they really thought they were.
They still do.
They still do. I love the actors, and I think the actors are good. Like generally, I think the actors are good. It's not their fault that the characters are written like that.
No, it's not.
Don't like it. I feel like the actors know by now the show was shit.
Yeah, 100%.
We're doing it.
And I think also like their cast, like they all got along so well as a cast, like they're like a cast family type of thing. So I think it's hard. Like I think it's hard when like you get so close to your cast members, but then like your show is shit. Like actually, like that must be fucking hard. And then like Tommy Dorfman, I love Tommy Dorfman as a human. I love what's her name? I fucking forget her name.
The girl. Are you talking the friend? That's not. My head, I'm picturing her.
Justin and
the girl.
The girl. Fuck. I can't. I know what her face looks like.
Oh wait, she was right there.
I know her face too, but I don't know her name at all.
Jessica Alicia Bow. I love her. I think she's great. I want to see her act in something else, because that character, they did her.
I think what was frustrating.
I think at the end they redeemed her. I haven't watched the end though. My friend said that her storyline. Oh my god, what they did to Justin!
I was about to say that.
Oh
that
my god,
is so cruel.
I didn't watch it. I had to watch it because I'm so pissed, because my Darby told me what happened, because she ended up binging it in quarantine, and I was like, just tell me. I'm probably not gonna watch it. But her telling me, I was like, I have to watch it.
I watched the last episode.
They basically make him a drug addict, right? And he gets homeless, and then he ends up. How did he die? I forget.
He gets AIDS.
He gets AIDS. Yeah, that's what it is. They killed him off. How fucked? How
that came out of nowhere.
That?
There was no reason for that.
No.
They're like, well, we want to tell stories about like AIDS. I'm like, that is not the stories you should be telling about people with AIDS. What is wrong with you?
Absolutely not.
Literally, what is wrong with you?
No, not at all. That honestly, that really pisses me off.
Justin deserves better, to be honest.
They did horrible with that character. They did the worst. I'm still
the
mad
only
about
character they kind of treated okay was Ross Beller's character, but I heard in the last seasons they kind of didn't.
Well, was he not defending a rapist? Was that not what was happening? Or I don't remember. Pretty sure he was he knew what Bryce was doing, and he just didn't tell anyone. And I was like, no, okay.
Yeah.
And the worst part is that I remember, I don't know if it's 2 or 3, they start trying to redeem Bryce. And as soon as they started doing that, I was like, I'm done. I don't care. I literally don't care. Don't try to redeem the villain of your show if it's a rapist. It's not like Pretty Little Liars.
I feel like you can definitely show I don't know.
They were trying to
we've only had 1 season of Nate, but Nate from Euphoria.
Oh,
and nobody fucking likes him.
No,
but you can see the factors that are
why he's like that.
They it could have done we haven't seen how they're gonna treat him in season 2, so TBD on that. Yeah. But that
could go badly.
It could go badly, and I'm really nervous about it.
Yeah, I think oh God, I don't even want to talk about this anymore.
Yeah, it's. You know what, they had that's the biggest part is they had the opportunity to do something really, really good and really impactful and useful, but they decided that they wanted just to make it a murder mystery
and then just treat their characters horribly and and I think they were really trying to be well, let's hit all these heavy topics, but they didn't do a single one of them good, especially not obviously they didn't really. I don't know. The jury's still out. Well, I don't know. Okay, I'm not going to say anything about that one. But the bullying, the whole school shooter thing, that was not well done. No. I don't know what they were trying to do there.
Especially how they ended it on season 2 where they were trying to get away in the car. What the fuck?
I don't even know. And then,
they were trying to kind of justify how a school shooter comes to be.
Yeah.
And they were also trying to make it seem like it was so easy to talk a school shooter down, because literally what happens is Clay just tells him, put the gun down, run away, the police won't catch you. That's what happens. I'm that what?
Yeah.
That was...
I remember, I feel like I went on like a Snapchat rampage.
I went
like
on one too.
Something like that. I was like, why was Clay the one to do that? What the fuck are they trying to make Clay this macho
Clay is not
man?
a good character, by the way.
No. Sorry, Dylan Minnette, that you have to play
I love Dylan Minnette.
He's great.
Like, I love Dylan Minnette.
He's a good...
Stream Wallows.
Yeah, Stream Wallows.
He's gonna be the new Scream. He's fine.
Yeah, he's gonna be okay. And I'm so sorry that had to be your breakout role.
Yeah, Stream the Goosebumps movie.
And Clay was a lot more likable in the book for sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, but the way they wrote his character in the show just makes me upset. Anyways, yeah. So 13 Reasons Why. Sponsor. Move on to the honorable. I can't believe we ended like that. Honorable mentions. Love Simon. And Love Victor. I liked it in the beginning, and now I don't like it.
Okay.
It didn't age well for me. I don't know.
I haven't seen it, and I will not watch it. Not. Oh, that made me sound very homophobic. But I was just like, I'm not into like romance movies. Sorry.
Yeah, he refused.
I said that earlier though. That's not my thing. I don't care like what the characters, who they are. I just don't like romance movies. Okay. If you put some demons into Love Simon, I'd watch it.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
I'm kidding.
Do you have any thoughts about it, Garrett?
Love Simon.
The gulp.
It was so audible.
I like it. I think it's cute. I appreciate that it exists. Like, I want more happy gay romance stories. I just don't quite feel that it's the most accurate type story. I do love the speech that the mom gives. Like, maybe it's because it comes from Jennifer Garner, I don't know, but that speech really helped me feel like really at peace. But I'm just like, I wasn't super impressed with it, and also like it hit a little too close to home with my own like sort of like in some ways I'm like, this isn't accurate at all, but other ways like it was too much like my own original like coming out type story, because like the first like boy I had feelings for was somebody I met like over social media. So like reading that book, I was like, this is my story. And then with like Love Victor, it's cute. I like watched it super quickly, but it's still like a very whitewashed story. Like it's
really one
still
tone.
Not very.
And I think that's like my critique of both of those stories. It's just like you're painting like a really like specific experience that like you know,
it's not that
it's
common.
You know, and it's also really surface level. Yeah. It's very much very like top
like I get that for this story is really important to a lot of people, and I'm not going to knock it for that, because obviously like
and LGBTQ stories deserve like the shitty like cheesy romantic comedies,
like the Kristen Stewart one. Like make 1,000 gay Hallmark movies.
Yeah,
go ahead. Like that's, people love those, and gay people deserve Hallmark movies too. I'm not going to pretend.
So it's good for that.
Exactly. I just I don't know. A lot of people love it, and I'm glad that people like have an emotional attachment to it.
Oh, 100%. I think it was really good for the thing. I think also another thing I don't like about Love Simon is how the friends reacted.
Oh,
they made it about themselves.
Oh god,
it's so frustrating. It pisses me the fuck off.
Because Simon's white, right?
Yeah,
I think,
and it's like an upper middle class family.
Yeah, I think that's why it's like, because a lot there's I don't even know what I'm gonna say.
But Josh Duhamel, the Duff pisses me the fuck off, to be honest.
Yeah,
I fucking hate that movie so goddamn much, especially because who plays her?
Isn't it not the girl?
Mae Whitman.
I absolutely love Mae Whitman as an actress. I think she's good, but that movie pisses me so much, especially because Mae Whitman is not fat.
Mae Whitman is also a queen of YA novels, YA movies.
Is she really? She was in Percy. Yeah, but she doesn't age.
She doesn't.
But look at this. She's literally not skin. She's skinny. She's literally there's no tummy. What?
Bella Thorne was in it.
I don't even remember that. But like, it pisses me off. Like,
Yeah.
What? I'm sorry. I was just looking at a picture of her in pants. There's no stomach. It's flat. So it pisses me the fuck off. And I tried to watch it and I got mad and I turned it off.
Yeah. One day we'll do an episode about like.
It.
Yeah, we're definitely. It's on the list.
And
it's definitely. On
we're getting there.
But yeah, the Duff. It pissed me off for me, especially being a fat person. Like a lot of people would be like, "Oh my god, did you watch the Duff?" Or like, "Oh my god," they would bring up the Duff to me and be like, "Oh my god, it's such like." I didn't realize it was like what they were doing until like after reflecting. They're like, "Oh my god, I think that movie's so great. Like the Duff is so good," and I'm just be like. No, I couldn't say anything.
I think it was the same energy as like people asking gay people if they saw Love, Simon or Asian people if they saw Crazy Rich Asians.
Same energy.
They're like, "Oh my god, they made a movie for you. Did you like it? Like, what'd you think?"
No, here's your movie. Yeah. Did you love it? No, because the main character wasn't even fucking fat. What do you mean? And then they try to give us Sierra Burgess, and Sierra Burgess is awful.
That is not a good movie.
Oh my god. And then Naomi and Eli's No Kiss List. I love this movie. I've never read the book. I just wanted to give it that.
Okay.
Yeah. To all the boys.
Oh god, here we go. We're already so over time. So
I know. This is it. I'm gonna sum it up in like one sentence.
Okay.
So the books, absolutely, you should read the books. If you like the movies, you should read the books. It's such an easy read. I read all of them within a day, like within 2 days. And the tea is so much better. The characters are so much better. Also, Noah Centineo ruined fucking Peter Kavinsky for me. Oh my god, it's so upsetting. I can't even watch the first movie anymore. I haven't watched the second movie because I have a hot take, and I love Jordan Fisher so much, but he is not John Ambrose. I think he played it well.
Okay.
Like, from what I watched of it, I think he played it well, and, like, obviously I can't actually be mad at Jordan Fisher, but, like, the fact that they already casted John Ambrose, and they took it away from a rising person that doesn't have any, like, clout all, like, this was going to be his first really big role, and they took that away from him. I think that's fucked up, and that's what gets me on the recasting of John Ambrose. Like, they only casted Jordan Fisher because Jordan Fisher is amazing, and I love him. It's not his fault, but I think the people that did casting or, like, made that decision are fucking dirty for doing that, and I think that's fucked up. Like, and they didn't really even tell him that he got recasted. It's so fucked. And, like, imagine you see the success of the first movie and you're, like, so fucking hyped to be in the second movie because this is your big break.
Has he talked about it?
He doesn't say anything bad about it.
Well, yeah, because he can't really.
Yeah, he's gonna get blacklisted if he does. You know what I mean?
That's
like,
so sad.
It makes me so sad. And honestly, John Ambrose is a white boy. If you read the books, he's a white boy. Like, that is your typical all-American, like, whatever the fuck. Like, it is. And especially, like, his mom, his grandma, like, it just, yeah. I love you, Jordan Fisher. It's not your fault. And you're great. No complaints about you.
Okay.
It's a complaint about that. And also the Peter Kavinsky it's so much better in the books. Read the books, not the movies. The Hate You Give, really great book. Really great.
Incredible.
Movie. So good.
I haven't seen it.
That's
but it's on HBO Max, right?
Yeah.
I'll watch it.
I think it's good, and it didn't get the hype it deserved.
I love that actress. What's her name?
Amanda
Steinberg.
So good.
Yeah. She's a great actress, and I really think a lot more people should watch that movie, especially if you're, like, a middle school and, like, high schooler. I feel like this is a great way to, like, start, like, kind of seeing, you know, the injustices and, like, Black Lives Matter. And, you know, it's a good starter. I feel like if you're a young person, you should start with that. It's a good way to ease into the conversation and still make it's still, like, relatable to you because it's about people your age. And, like, seeing, like, a Black woman, like, lead so many, like, amazing conversations, especially her being that young, I think it's, like, super empowering, and I feel like a lot of young people should watch it. So we love The Hate You Give. We're ending on a high note.
Every kid and every teenager deserves a story that they feel connected to, whether there's wizards in it, whether it's just a bunch of kids like riding through a tunnel, like, whatever story you connect to as a kid. I think that's really important for everyone to have, especially kids that, like, feel like they don't really have anything,
like they're really grasping at straws, like trying to relate to, like, white characters.
Yes.
Exactly. Yeah.
So that's why I think these stories are important, because I think that's honestly what these stories did for a lot of kids,
100%.
like including
and
us.
I think that's another reason why fantasy and stuff gets like so big, because it's like a magical world, and like you can like more grasp onto those characters because it's like
escapism,
fantasy, escapism. Yeah, well, that was probably our longest episode ever.
Yeah. Oh my god.
This is literally our longest episode ever. I hope you guys enjoyed listening. Thanks, Garrett, for coming on. Do you want to plug your socials where people can find you?
Yeah, sure. Follow me on Instagram. It's Garrett, and then a period, Wyatt, like the word Y and the word it. Same thing for Twitter. Connect with me on LinkedIn. Just search my name.
Yes. Yeah. LinkedIn. Absolutely. Okay. Well, yeah, that's it.
Thank you for listening to the longest episode ever.
We started season 2 off with a bang.
We did, and honestly, like, it's not like we were just like spewing random things. We had such good like, not to like toot our own horn, but that was like really good commentary on like all of these things. And there was a lot of ground to cover, and I think we did it pretty efficiently. Much ground
to cover.
Well, this could have gone way longer than it did. We could have done an hour on each section.
100%.
Like I could still talk about the Hunger Games right now.
Me too. So I think we did pretty good for what we had to do. All right. Thank you so much, everyone, for listening, and we'll see you next week.